Commissioner, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Mays. As the two candidates before you, Mr. Mays, you will have 2 minutes to introduce yourself to the audience. Time begins now.
Hello, everybody. I just want to thank the Gelters again for having us here tonight. You guys have a wonderful organization, and we appreciate what you're doing for our community. I hope you'll continue to do it. Congratulations. Just want to say to you real quick, hope I don't bore those who've heard me speak before, but I'm Attorney James C. Mays. I'm the Democratic nominee for Commissioner of District 1. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm a person that grew up in Gary, Indiana, went to college at Clark Atlanta University in Atlanta, and I was a student by the president when I was in college, and I had grades good enough where I won a full scholarship to law school at the University of Iowa in Iowa City, Iowa. When I finished law school, I was offered a position as a political science professor at Clark Atlanta University. I came back, I taught for 2 years, and then I went with the United States government as a trial attorney with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, where I spent 2 years in Atlanta. And then I went with a New York fashion company as a corporation attorney. I spent the next 30 years there. And when I retired, I moved back to Atlanta in 2005. I didn't think I was going to work anymore, but I was offered a position with the Henry County Juvenile Court. That's where I'm currently working as an attorney in the Henry County Juvenile Court. Now, why am I running for this position? Well, it's really very simple if you know anything about what's happening in the county. We are in the worst position that we probably have been in the history of the county. Some people have made terrible mistakes, and as a result of that, one of the things that has happened is that we're currently looking at a $10 million deficit in our county. As a result of that $10 million that has been run up in recent years, you may not know it, but your taxes were raised, or the millage rate was recently raised about a month ago. So you went from an 11.75% millage rate to a 14.50 millage rate, an increase of about 23%.
Thank you, Mr. Mays. Time is up. We're going to jump right into the questions for you. The first question for you is the following. If elected, please explain the action items you will focus on during the first 90 days in office.
Okay.
Time begins now.
Thank you. As a result of that $10 million deficit I was just telling you, nobody in Henry County who works for Henry County has had a pay increase in the last 5 years. And on top of that, they've been furloughed for the last 5 years. What I would do immediately with respect to policemen and firemen and other emergency service people is that I would end all furloughing. You could not furlough policemen and firemen and emergency service people if I come into office. And the example I give is, if you call a police officer, you call the police department, and somebody just robbed your house, and they tell you that they're furloughed today, that would not be a good situation. The same thing would be true if you called the fire department because your house was on fire, and they said they were furloughed today. That would be a bad situation. I would end all of that immediately in my first 90 days that I go in office.
Thank you. The next question. What is the working relationship and collaboration that you have with your state and congressional leaders that communicates and informs them of the needs of your constituents right here in Henry County? And then the second part of this question from the audience is, how do you maintain a level of communication between the two groups that keep them up to date with the outcome and progress made thus far?
You know, I missed the last part of your question. The two groups.
The second part says, how do you maintain a level of communication between the two groups that keep them up to date with the outcome and progress made thus far?
Okay.
Time begins now.
All right, I'm sorry, but I hope I understand your question. I think you were asking about my communications with the state reps and
congressional leaders. Yes, sir.
Okay, I have to tell you, I am not a politician. I'm just an average citizen. I have never run for office before, so I must admit I don't have any kind of direct communication with either my state rep or congressional person. But if I did have that type of communication with them, it probably would be just as an average citizen would do it, through letters or telephone calls or emails, just like everybody else would do it. There's nothing special about me except that I've made a decision to be the next commissioner in District 1.
Next question for you. What are your plans to increase revenue in Henry County? Time begins now.
Okay. I think we all have the same ideas for how we can raise revenue, and is that we have to do something with economic development. I mean, that's just a simple answer. We have to learn as other counties have learned, whether that's Gwinnett County or Cobb County or Fulton County or any of the counties on the northern perimeter, how do we attract businesses to our county? Now, I think that we've done many of the things that will attract businesses, like have safe police departments and these other things that I mentioned, have an outstanding school system here in Henry County, but I don't believe that the attitude of some of our politicians has been that they want to have smart growth in the county. I'm in favor of smart growth. I think we have to learn how to do smart growth by approaching companies that would be attracted to our company and going after them. I always give the example of how the mayor of Atlanta has gone to China to approach companies, and how the CEO of DeKalb County has gone to India and other places trying to have businesses coming into that area. I would do the same thing. I'd just be more aggressive, and I'd have a desire to bring companies into this county that haven't been brought in before.
Okay, thank you. Next question. What is your campaign platform, specifically, and how do you expect it to directly impact the average Joe citizen in Henry County? Time begins now.
I just have 4 planks in my platform. Number 1 is fiscal responsibility. We have to stop making stupid decisions with our money in the county, and we have to put people in those positions who will make smart decisions. That's number 1, fiscal responsibility. How do we get people to use our money wisely? 2, economic development. If they're making decisions about our money and they're overspending, how do we overcome that? Well, we overcome it by doing the economic development that I was talking about. Number 3 is transportation. As a county that has gone from 59,000 people in 1990 to over 200,000 people today, we have serious transportation problems. Our roads are not being developed, they're not being improved, and as a result of that, the traffic is backing up, we're having trouble all over the county. And number 4, public safety. I'm concerned about our policemen and firemen and emergency service people and all the other people actually that run our county. And my 4th plank would be how to improve their condition in the county.
Thank you. Final question for you, Mr. Mays. How will you ensure that public schools operate effectively and that all children in Henry County achieve academic success? Time begins now. Okay,
I think you all probably know the commission does not have any direct responsibility for the schools in Henry County. That's the school board's responsibility. However, that amount of money that goes for schools in Henry County is a large portion of the money that's raised from taxes in the county. So I think the thing to do is for us on the commission who don't have direct responsibility for the school systems is to make wise decisions with our money so that there will be sufficient money for those school systems, and to lend a hand for them in any other kind of way that we can to make sure that their job is smooth and that they can get done the things that they need to get done.
Thank you. Now, we have 2 minutes to conclude. Time begins now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most historic times in the history, not only of Henry County and the state of Georgia, but of the entire United States. There is a clear line of demarcation between those who want to do well and those who want to take us back to 1950 and 1960. It's not difficult to recognize who they are. They make it plain to you that they want to take us back to 1950 and 1960. There are those of like myself, who call ourselves progressive. We want the county to continue to grow, but we want it to grow with smart growth. We want to put people in those positions who have the training and the education to make sure that that happens. Listen to our opponents. You'll hear what they're saying. They don't want progress to be made. We do. That's the clear difference. Thank you very much.